Dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know.
Alright, good morning to everyone out there. White Christmas, is it going to happen? Looks likely, or at least a white day after Christmas maybe. We'll see. I think we could get an inch of snow by midnight Christmas Day to classify as a white Christmas. Might not be snow on the ground when you wake up Christmas morning, but we'll see what the modeling does over the next day or two, because we're still, what, 3-4 days out from this storm. I guess we got today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe even part of Saturday. So we're still 3.5-4 days out from the storm. But White Christmas. My name is Justin Tomlin. I'm from Statesville, North Carolina, and today's date is December 22nd, 2010. It is the first day of winter, the first whole day of winter, anyways. Got a lot to talk about, so let me get straight to it. Some fog around parts of the region in North Carolina this morning. I just wanted to throw that out there for you. But what you're looking at now is the radar, and you got what's called the Pineapple Express in California, because it shoots so much rain. It's been raining there for like 7 days or 6 days now or something. Mountains have got anywhere from like 10 to 20 feet of snow. It's unreal amounts. And then, yeah. But our system is coming from there, and our system still is yet to come onto the coast, but it should by tonight, okay? But we just got a couple showers moving through our area. Alright, here is the surface maps for different modeling. Alright, here is the 6Z GFS surface, okay? This is temperature. I don't really need to show you temperature. But anyways, this one is even... Okay, and I forgot to tell you, the GFS has come in line with the Euro. It's actually a little bit further south than the Euro now, opposed to yesterday where it was further north and giving us rain and snow. Now it's still weaker, but I'll explain why I think the GFS is wrong here in a minute. It shows the 6Z run doesn't show hardly any snow for us. Maybe a quick dusting or something early Saturday morning. And then the total precip amounts, like I said, just 1/10 of an inch or so. Here's the total precip amounts on the European, okay? Yeah, you see that? That's ridiculous, okay? Taken verbatim from that model, you would have, let's see, we would be in the light blue, or we would be in the bright blue. So that's like 10 inches to a foot of snow. Further east, as you go back into Raleigh, like 22 inches back into parts of eastern North Carolina, if it verified. Don't think that's going to happen too much, but here is the, let's see, here's the precip and everything moving through. And yeah, you see that light blue and the freezing line east of where that light blue is, that's where the heavier snow is going to fall. Now, where the heavier snow is going to set up is yet to be seen, okay? We'll see what happens and where it sets up. Will it be over Raleigh and Columbia? That's where it looks to be right now, but we've still got time to iron that out. We're still 3.5 days. It feels like it's tomorrow because of how long I've been looking at it and all the work that I've put into it and all the model agreement and consistency with some of the models. But European has been the most consistent, and the Canadian last night, here's the Canadian. It showed, and the Canadian just didn't, it was awful. It didn't show hardly any snow for North Carolina in the western part. I think that was just a glitch in the model, and 12Z it'll come back around. Because the Canadian, that kind of disappointed me, because the Canadian was the one I was kind of agreeing with at what was going to happen. It had lighter precip amounts than the European, but it had pretty much the same track. And that's what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't show that this morning, so oh well. But here's the European snowfall forecast. Alright, and I'm pretty sure that these are water. It's just QPF, okay? And then you got to translate that into inches of snow, because if that was QPF, that'd be a tenth of an inch of precip to an inch of precip, and then 77 roughly east is like 1 inch to 2 inches of QPF, and that would translate in the white zone. It would be 1 to 10 inches in the blue zone, 10 to 20 in the darker blue, 20 to 30, and that's what the the European was printed out. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Okay, but we'll see. And let me see here. And the Euro has been consistently wetter with each model run. I can tell you that. All right, and then today is the day that we're going to have to watch the models and figure out what's going on, because they should lock in today as the system comes ashore. And right now I'm siding with the Euro. Sorry, I'm reading off my notes to make sure I cover everything. Let's see, the UK Met agrees with the first part of the Euro. And Euro still showing the storm of historical proportions, okay? If that happened, that would be one, and especially like right around Christmas, that would be a storm that's talked about for years and years and years. Alright, and here's the UK Met, and it agrees with the first part of the Euro, okay, or the first part of the UK Met agrees with the European. Okay? At 60 and 72 hours, if you look at the 500 millibar chart, that's pretty much the exact same thing the European was showing up. So, Euro, if that played out, if the Europeans played out, that would be a storm that's talked about for the rest of our lifetime. I'm serious, because to get 10 inches, even 20 inches, 2 feet of snow back into Raleigh on Christmas Day, no less, or the day after Christmas, right around Christmas time, would just be ridiculous. Okay, so we'll see what the Euro does. If that was right, then that would be awesome. But the track is key. Right now the heavier precip, like I said, is Raleigh, Columbia. But that's way too early to really say that that's set in stone. Okay, there's tons of time for that to change. Track could go further south, track could go further north, and that would put us in the even less precip or even more. But track is key. If you want more snow, for us, you need to trend back a little bit to the west, but not much. And it looks to be all snow. The GFS, that was the one thing keeping some people to say rain and snow. But all of them are saying, nope, it's going to be too far south for it to be rain, and it's going to be all snow. All snow. Not even starting off as a mix, right, as of now. Okay? And we've got the precip type down, pretty much, unless trends start to happen in the model to bring it back north. But we got the precip type down. Now we got to figure out how much. That's a big question right as of now. Alright, and talked about that. Let me see what else I got. Yeah, and the storm is going to deepen, but that's how close to the shore is going to be the key to how much we get. But the storm is going to deepen off the coast, and I don't agree with the GFS of keeping it weak, okay? In last night's run of the GFS, it showed the track, of course, further south, and that's what we were looking for. I didn't care about the storm strengthening or anything like that. I didn't care about what it showed for the storm doing once it got here or anything like that. I wanted to see the track shift further south, and indeed it did it. So I'm not worried about that not throwing precip back, okay? Because you got the European to pretty much cancel out that. But we'll see what the GFS does with the trending now that it's further south, see what it does with the system. I think the GFS is wrong, and I'll show you why here in a second. But the UK Met corrects itself. You remember I was talking about it going too far offshore. It normally corrects itself relatively fast, so we'll see what happens over the next day or two. And it's really only reliable out to day 3 or so. So it's coming in to be the point where if it's going to correct itself, it's going to correct back. Otherwise, it's just going to stick to its guns. Yeah, let me talk about that. And if you want snow, you want it to be a slower tracking across the country. Okay, you don't want it too fast. All right. Heard on the radio show last night, and it was talking about slow equals snow or something like that. But anyways, like I said, it's going to be all snow, and the biggest concern of mine is watching for it to go out to sea, and in that case we wouldn't get much snow, and it doesn't hug up the East Coast, and you don't get that much snow then. But that's the biggest thing to watch out for now. I think the northern track is not going to be the thing to worry about as of now. Alright, let me show you these 500 millibar charts. Alright, and show you why and why I don't agree with some of them. Okay, here is the NAM. Okay, let's show you. Okay, in the GFS, of course, the run I want to show you doesn't show up. But anyways, there is the NAM, and NAM's not the most reliable model, but it's still got a closed upper level low, 500 millibars. And there's the GFS, and it's not closed, and it's very weak. Okay, but the European's closed, and this is what went wrong with the Canadian. Okay, it doesn't close off the low. That's what happened last night, and that's why we didn't see. I'm pretty sure the run before, the 12Z run of the Canadian yesterday, did close off the low. But that's the biggest thing right now, is the Canadian didn't close off the low, and with that, you can't get it to deepen that much. And that's before it phases, of course, and everything like that. But that's a bad sign. You want it to close, okay? And the European does indeed show that, and so does the NAM, okay? For at least parts of it until it begins to phase, okay? And the European shows it phasing right about here, okay? So at December 25th, Christmas afternoon, over Louisiana, eastern Texas, and Arkansas, parts like that. But here's why I think the GFS is wrong, okay? GFS shows this low considerably weaker, okay, and what I showed you at the beginning. I think it's wrong because think of all these other models, even the Canadian, it's slightly stronger than the GFS, okay? So that's why I think it's wrong. But I've probably ran over time. But GFS doesn't close off the low, and it phases late. It doesn't phase really until like way out here, over like Georgia and Alabama, okay, and that's not right. So but anyways, the track is what yeah, okay, that's it for today. My forecast, I'm going to put out accumulation maps probably tonight, if not by tomorrow morning then. But I think 1 to 3 inches for here in Statesville is a good idea, and I mean that's the minimum, okay? My forecast for the more likely solution to play out would be about 3 to 7 inches, okay? I mean, still got models showing, I mean, I think it's a good guess that we get at least 3 to 7 inches, and some models are showing 1 to 2 feet, but I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. More updates probably later on today, maybe another video, so have a good day, thank you for watching, and God bless you.